mga kaibigan! Welcome again to In My Toolbox, a weekly talk show for your personal finance only here at PHLV Radio. The goal of this show, mga kaibigan, is to give you financial information, business information that you may be able to use on your day-to-day financial or business decisions. Ayan naman. Of course, we will unbox topics that hopefully will be able to aid you and guide you, to add to your financial tools and business tools. So we will tackle important information here, mostly not taught in school. But of course, this is so much needed to empower you financially and katalinuhan. Alright, as usual, in any idea, mga kaibigan, that will transpire this show, always consult with your financial advisors, business associate, professionals, insurance professionals, tax consultants, etc., etc. Again, my name is Enrico Pobre. I'm your host here at In My Toolbox. It's another episode, mga kaibigan. If you want to get in touch with me, of course, you can get in touch with PHLV. Otherwise, you just email me at enrico.inmytoolbox@gmail.com. All right, mga kaibigan. So how was your week, mga kaibigan? Well, last week we were talking about small businesses here that you can put up here in the United States. Wow, right? So now I would want to change the location of that business. Let's talk about small business ideas in the Philippines. Wow, diba? That's actually so good. Around 99% of business enterprise in the Philippines are called micro, small, and medium enterprises. Again, micro, small, medium enterprises. I call it MSME or Miss Me. Do you miss me? All right. Okay. So, if I'm going to tell you this overwhelming number or numbers of this miss me, it only shows that Filipinos have this entrepreneurial side, So, a lot of us are all, are business-minded people. So, if you want to actually, by the way, guys, if you want to know, Miss Me is actually a booming industry in the Philippines. It is, right? So, if you want to be part of this booming industry, well, this is one way to call yourself, your own boss. Maybe you've heard this too many times already in your lifetime, right? To become your own boss. This is actually something that you would want to look into, and this Miss Me or this industry will may be able to help you grow your finances. So if you want to see how it works or what ideas, I can enumerate some. So if you, just in your heart right now, if you really would want to be an entrepreneur, just like right now you feel like, yeah, I want to be a business owner. But the problem is, what type of a business or small business can I start in the Philippines? Most of us definitely, right? Listening to the show. We have relatives that's, in the Philippines that definitely we can partner up putting up this business, right? So, any business idea that you can actually get out of this show right now, well, it's up to you. It's your choice, right? So my whole idea here is that you can actually start up a small business in the Philippines. So what is small in the Philippines? Well, let's talk about, less than $10,000 of 10,000 pesos. Again, guys, I'm talking about pesos here. So you divide it by 55, right? So let's talk about less than 10,000 peso business. What? Meron bang ganon? Is there such a thing? Well, let's go over some of those businesses, right? So, there is something that we call, I still remember when I was, when I was growing, when I was young during summer, I definitely would go to the back of my house and go to this friend of mine who's selling halo-halo. Remember, guys, the neighborhood, right? There's a lot of people selling halo-halo. Everybody, in fact, you might be even one of them, right? Just selling halo-halo during summer. So the reason why I'm saying that is the first business that I would want to, to tell you is what you call the homemade beverage or palamig o palamig business sa malamig, di ba? Palamig business or homemade beverages. The startup cost for this homemade beverages, believe it or not, is only 500 pesos to 5,000 pesos. So that depends on how you're going to be scaling it up, right? So the investment, the items that you will be investing on would be, of course, the ingredients. Make sure that it's purified water, mga kaibigan, right? Your container and your plastic bottles. That's it. You know? So if you want to set up that kind of a business which has a small capital, really, really small capital, you know, selling this ice cold drink is one of the best small capital ideas in the Philippines. Oh, Enrico, that's too small for me. Okay. But what I'm trying to tell you right now, guys, is to position yourself to become an entrepreneur. Whether it's small, it's big, it doesn't really matter, guys. It's how you will be able to scale up your business to the next level, right? So Filipinos, you know, we all love ice cold milk teas or coffees or whatever fruit drink that you know that you can think of during summer. You know, you can sell them. Some items you can sell them all year round. You know, for as low as 500 pesos, man, you can start selling drinks. Wow, right? Can you imagine? You know, you can always start small, and then it's up to you how you be scaling it up. Number two, I can show you, or I can tell you, a similar business. Instead of a drink, it's a homemade or a home cooked meal. We basically grew up like that. You know, even in the center of Makati, right? There's this what you call food trucks there. You know, we have food trucks all over, right? Those are homemade cooked meals. So to be able to start this homemade cooked meals, it's about 1,000 peso to 8,000 pesos. That's about 150 bucks. You already have a business. Again, Enrico, that's too small for me. Well, I'm telling you, right? All you need to start from small. That's why I'm the whole topic here, the whole idea is it's a small business idea that you can put up in a business. And you can even use this as your practice business. No matter how small it is, it's actually up to you how you scale it up. Now, what do you need? What items do you need to invest into this type of a business? Of course, the meal ingredients, the plastic containers, and the kitchenware. That's it. Now you have a business. And selling these home cooked meals is one of the best business now, which actually requires low capital. You know, especially if you have the passion of cooking, this might be the one for you. Or the people that you have in the Philippines might have this passion of cooking. You can capitalize on it, and you guys have a business, right? Well, it's time consuming, that's right, but you only need as low as 1,000 peso to put up a business. Wow. So, well, advertising, your meals online is actually free anyway. Use all the social media that you have this cooked meals made to order basis. That's another way on how to scale it up, right? So that's drinks or home cooked meals is actually a very low capital business that you can actually start on, right? Okay, another business. Let's go to how I knew about cell phone when I was growing up there. Remember those cell phone loading business? Well, that's another business for you guys, right? So this is a little bit, a higher capitalization because you're going to be needing capital of money to, put load to another cell phone. Basically, we don't have it here, right? But in the Philippines, yes, you can do this. Cell phone loading business, the startup cost is about 5,000 to 8,000 pesos only. Wow, right? So you already have that business right there and there. So the items to invest on would be basic phone. Of course, at least you have the basic phone. You can use that already. Number two, of course, the retailer SIM card. You know that, right? So when you sell, for example, a carrier in the Philippines, you just have to have their SIM card to be able to load other people's cell phone with the same carrier. So it's a retail SIM card. And then it requires a starting balance of about 5,000 pesos. That's the reason why this business needs about 5,000 to 8,000 pesos to start with. Wow. And then you scale it up again, right? So this is one of the easiest, in fact, a small business idea that you can actually start up on. Everybody has a cell phone. You have a relative that has a cell phone there in the Philippines. All you have to do is to give them the startup capital, right? For as low as 5,000 peso, you can already start earning at home or even at the office, right? So, unlike other small businesses in the Philippines, again, on this type of a business, don't expect to earn so much immediately from the venture, because again, it's a matter how you scale it up. As a loader retailer or a load retailer, you get your earnings through commissions only. So this commission is actually small. It's about 3% to 13%, depending on the carrier, and of course depending on the transaction that you will be having. For example, right? So you actually got a prepaid load worth 50 peso, and then this 50 peso you may deduct 47 pesos for from your load wallet, leaving you with your 3 peso as a profit already. Of course, that always depends on what carrier you're going to be using. Ganun naman po yun. No? So, nangungumisyon lang tayo. We're getting commission out of this retailer process or technology that they have, right? So, but if you're ready to start or grow this small business, and if you're planning to secure funds or, getting this inventory going, you just have to pay more, or put more money into the SIM card, right? So that's exactly what I'm actually telling you guys. You can start as low as 5,000 pesos. All right, mga kaibigan, okay? So that's an easy, that's a great idea. In fact, it's an easy way on how to put up that cell phone loading business. Another one, lugaw, arroz caldo, or goto business, right? I grew up with this one too, and I was growing in the Philippines, right? So startup cost is about 2,000 to 11,000 pesos. Well, this is now over 10,000 pesos, but still, it's about that range. Well, when you do this, the lugaw, arroz caldo, goto business, ingredients is one of the items that you will be investing in, and then the takeaway packaging. So these are actually amongst Filipinos' favorite comfort foods, It's not really very hard to prepare. It's actually easy to prepare, and they're so delicious, and it is actually made on one of those affordable ingredients. And we basically grew up with this kind of foods, right? So if you have special lugaw, arroz caldo, or goto recipe, you can actually start selling them. Don't forget the egg. When I was growing in Tuguegarao, I still remember that wet market that I go to. There's always a goto lugaw and goto arroz caldo outside the market. I always go there, at the end of my classes in the afternoons, because I grew up with this type of environment. So, you can also sell not only in a marketplace. You can even sell this from home. Or you can even, especially nowadays, you can set up an online store to be able to reach more customers. So you can make it as special as you want. Again, that egg, with delicious toppings, and you serve the classic and traditional the traditional style that everybody loves and enjoy. See, that's now mouth-watering, di ba? Nakakagutom, mga kaibigan, right? So that could be a good business for you to start up, or during the pandemic times, remember, face mask business. This is, it just because of what happened during the pandemic, people were thinking of what businesses can come out during those pandemic. People became creative. And what I'm telling you right now, guys, you could always be creative. And that face mask business was actually a good, people's creativity came out. And you would see different types of face mask out there. In fact, from the Philippines, it even reached here in the United States, and they were selling it online as well. The reason I'm saying that, if you are creative, see what's actually out there that you could sell, or you can actually start creating that you can sell out there, just like the face mask. The reason why I'm mentioning this one, that face mask, if that was today, about 2,000 to 11,000 pesos again. that you'll be able to invest in on the items. These are the items that's needed there. A tight weave cotton fabric, elastics, and of course the sewing materials. That's it. If you are actually fond of making something functional yet very beautiful with your hands, right? That's a good thing. Why not make handmade washable face masks and start a business? This was actually one of those things really that it was so obvious that made money during the pandemic times, Well, right now you may think that pandemic is already over, but I'm telling you, people are still wearing face masks all over. See? Well, it means that what? There's still business out there for these types of a business because they use this face mask now as a precaution. So you just have to invest in quality cottons or fabrics out there that you want to make sure that's actually going to be effective against this droplets. That's the reason why you use face masks in the first place, right? So you can choose different kinds of patterns or designs that will be able to be so appealing to your target market, and they would love to buy it, of course. So you can actually look at different prints as well, or put characters that the children loves. Of course, different sizes as well, right? So you can actually put bold prints in front of that face mask. Remember this face mask that has a mouth? You already have a mouth and then still made a mouth out of that? That's crazy, right? So these are some artistic, value that you can add on into this face mask. Just come up with your creativity into this face mask. So that's exactly what you call a small business idea that is timely, that you can make money out of, right? So I tried this one when I was in Tuguegarao, the next business, because I was so fond of people because I grew up in the marketplace, having all of this businesses around the marketplace, and guess what? One of those thriving businesses during that time, or maybe up until today, I tell you, is what you call the barbecue stand. We call it ihawan, right? So ihaw. This is an ihaw business, and the startup cost for ihaw business like this is about 5,000 to 15,000 pesos, and all you need to have would be, of course, food, that you will need to grill. Of course, the barbecue, right? The sauces, the charcoal, the stainless grill, the tongs, the barbecue sticks, and then, of course, your takeaway packaging. That's all you need to start up that barbecue business. In fact, Filipinos are fond of eating those ihaw. In fact, there's a small business here in Vegas alone that actually does that. And that's all they sell. See? So why do they do that? Why do they bring it here? Because they know that that's our comfort food. So if you have these families in the Philippines that, that is good in making barbecue, maybe you can actually capitalize on that. So again, the capital is about $5,000 to $15,000. So again, depending on what you want to sell anyway or grill, it can be pork barbecue, chicken barbecue, or what do you call this, inihaw na tilapia, or what have you, liempo. For these are things that you can start on, or you can actually sell the what do you call this, the Betamax, right? The Adidas, you know what it means, right? The Isaw, right? These are great business ideas that you can start on in the Philippines. So you just have to be what? You have to just start putting all of this business together. And another business that you could actually start on with a very small capital would be a fruit and vegetable business. Wow. A fruit and vegetable business. I remember, I used to drive from Tuguegarao to Manila to Tuguegarao. It's about 12-hour drive. And you would see, from different provinces, from Nueva Ecija, going to Nueva Vizcaya, going to Isabela, to Cagayan, starting from Bulacan, by the way, right? You would see a lot of these small business owners along the highway selling vegetables and fruits. There's a lot of them really, and this is about 5,000 today, 5,000 to $15,000 peso capital to start this type of a business. Fruits and vegetables for selling, that's what you need, and the packaging, the weighing scale. And of course, the business phone. That's what you need. So this is a small capital business idea that you can start up in the Philippines. Just try selling these fruits and vegetables. That's going to be a good business to start on. And then, of course, aside from the fact that we Filipinos love those, love fruits and vegetables, there's a lot of suppliers around the country that can actually help you build that business, or, that you can get from as your supplier. And it's an easy and quick setup. Just starting less than 20,000 peso. There you go. That's about less than $400, and you have a good business to start, So whether you plan to set up a physical fruit and vegetable store is okay, but this business can also be an online store if you want to. You just need to stock up on the goods and then price them fairly, competitively, and voila, start selling. Just want to make sure that you get those sellable fruits like the mangoes or bananas and apples. You can sell that online, or having a what do you call this? A fruit stand, if you may, and then make sure to sell the most of this commonly being sold vegetables. If you don't want to go from the sell fruits, you can sell vegetables as well. So again, especially nowadays, talking about vegetables, there are a niche market for that, for that you can actually cater to. Specific clientele, right? Those are health buffs, vegetarians. You can actually have that target market for your vegetables. You can sell this top kind of fruits and vegetables for this target market. If you can add cauliflower, broccoli, lettuce, sweet potatoes, carrots, seedless grapes, and there's a lot there that you can actually choose on. All right. So fruit and vegetable business is actually a small business idea that you can start in the Philippines. Speaking about that, there's another one. Plant shop. Now, when I went back to the Philippines, I'm telling you, people are so fond of having plants. Bonsai man yan or what? It's just plants out there. And believe me or not, 5,000 to 15,000 pesos to start up this business, and all you need to have, of course, the plants to sell, pots, soil, and planting tools. Voila. You already have a small business that you can start in the Philippines. So, especially if you're a person that loves to plant, and definitely not just planting, you know how to propagate them. I remember myself when I was in the Philippines, and I asked my father, "Hey, Dad, I'll take this 2 hectares of land, and I'm gonna toil it. I'm gonna plant on it, and then everything that I did, I did it by myself, and then I planted squash for 2 hectares squash. That's a lot. I didn't even know that was a lot, But I'm telling you guys, it can happen. I was a young boy at the time when I did it, and it propagated. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is if I was that young boy before and I was able to do it, and so can you today, right? So one of the best small capital business that requires small capital is that, you can actually have this plant selling, just as long as you have adequate. It doesn't have to be hectares and hectares of land, just an adequate space in an accessible area, like the main roads. You could put up your own nursery or a plant shop, and there you can actually display your plants that you would be selling every day. So you can, of course, again, because nowadays it's not just a physical brick and mortar, if I may say it, right? Again, even plants, you can sell it online. See, you can actually have a plant shop, but selling online. Well, online is actually less space requirement, and you still can actually reach the target market that you would want to reach into. All right. So, well, maybe let me just give you an example. Maybe you can start small with a cacti or any succulents, And you can get around maybe 30 pieces for all of this for about 2,000 pesos. There you go. You have inventory. You actually started small, and then maybe you can do it online. Voila, you have a running business already. So as long as guys, you just have to make sure that your key here, if you are able to scout good suppliers. And maybe good suppliers, you can find this outside Metro Manila. And because outside Metro Manila, you can actually get a good deal on this most popular plants and sellable plants in the Philippines. Like marigolds, this is about 50 peso each. Forget me not. I remember that plant. It's about 100 peso each. Or maybe you can actually buy these orchids for 130 pesos each. So there's a lot of plants that you can actually start on. Just get this business rolling. All right, mga kaibigan. So that's Plant Shop. So if you would want to if you would want to start small, it's small capital, but big in return, you might want to look at those businesses that I already mentioned. Let me give you another one. We can actually have milk tea business, right? So the milk tea business, like the boba shop that you see around, right? So the startup capital for this one is about 6,000 peso to about 15,000 peso. So what you need here is an electric sealer, a film sealer for the cup, right? And then a milk tea shaker, straws as well. Of course, the milk tea ingredient, the syrup that you will be needing, the measuring cups, and the scoop. And there you go. So if you love milk tea, you understand what I mean. Because you can have your own milk tea business with just less than 20,000 pesos. Enrico, that's too small. I'm telling you, the most important thing here is you train yourself, practice to yourself how to become a business owner, and then you learn the art of scaling it up. And I'm telling you right now, guys, before you knew it, you have a whole, a big shop already running in the Philippines. So the great thing about this milk tea business, because it's popular all year round. That's the reason why, right? So, and then Filipinos find it hard for us, because we have sweet tooth, right? Or sweet taste as well, right? So we love this delicious, refreshing milk tea, especially when you're so thirsty. Oh my God, right? Especially when you're hungry. Oh my God. Or both. All right. So there are many online sellers of online milk tea business packages that you can actually do that too. We have a lot of ways on how to deliver in the Philippines now. So you might want to do that as well. You want to look at it, and you are able to compete, with a lot of this business, in your neighborhood. But the market is just a lot too. So you just have to be creative and make sure that, you have the best milk tea. All right. So, and then of course you have the right equipment to be able to produce that best milk tea that you plan to sell. So again, you can sell this online, or you can do it in a brick and mortar. All right. So I remember too, when I was growing, in the Philippines, meat shops were not popular, but today it's so popular to have these meat shops, right? Well, this is a little bit expensive in capitalization, but still manageable. It's about 15,000 to 20,000 pesos. What you need here, of course, the meat to sell, the inventory, right? The freezer, the knives, and the weighing scale. That's it. Again, you don't have to be so big to start. You just have to practice first and see if this is the right business for you. So, especially if you live in an area where the market is actually a little bit away. The meat shop is actually a good business to start, because it's going to be a go-to for the neighborhood that you're at, right? So it actually requires only small capital. Start with processed meat, maybe like tapa, tocino, longanisa, and the likes, right? And just price them accordingly, that you just have a little bit of a markup, a good profit margin. And I'm telling you, of course, as long as it tastes good as well, right? For that small capital of less than 20,000 peso, you can already start a meat shop. And maybe you can sell, poultry or pork or beef, and you can actually expand it more once you grow your business. There you go. But these businesses, of course, it requires inventory. The plant shop, the meat shop, the milk tea, all of this requires inventory. Maybe this next one, I'm telling you, is going to be a good business to start with that doesn't have any inventory. You call it an online tutoring business. So the online tutoring business depends on how you would want to start it up, right? The capitalization could be from 2,000 pesos to 40,000 pesos. That depends on how you want to be, how you would want to scale up this business. So the things that you need here would be a computer, of course, a good quality a webcam, a web camera, a headphones, and of course the microphone. All of us, we're so thankful about the internet because again, we became creative on how to reach to our market selling our services or products, right? Thank you, internet, right? So you can actually have an online tutoring business, and especially nowadays, learning has become more accessible because of this tool, and people and you yourself, you're actually at the comfort of your homes. So with the online tutoring business, you can teach students, via the internet. Via Zoom or Skype. Oh, by the way, Skype is actually getting better now. Remember Skype? Actually Zoom ate Skype, and now Skype is actually coming back. So this small business idea is actually perfect for teachers or teacher wannabes, in fact, or musicians. You can actually teach music using this what do you call it, Zoom or Skype. And of course, those people who are artists who would like to share their knowledge with a larger audience, assuming that you have the expertise. That's the only thing that you would want to focus on, what you're expert at. And then all you need to start this business are those items that I mentioned a while ago. Voila, you already have a business. Wow, right? Guys, I only mentioned very, very few. And I'm telling you right now, it can actually happen. You can actually start a small business. Before you knew it, you're able to scale it up already. Right. So, mga kaibigan, I could mention a lot more businesses online. Here in this episode, but I'm telling you, just go research there. What are other small businesses or business ideas in the Philippines that you can start up with a very small capital, but a huge impact? I want to make sure that I reiterate that. You might want to look for a small business idea that requires a small capital, but can actually be scaled up. Before you knew it, you already have a huge business. But the first thing here is, number one, you have to research first, right? Or if you would want, get somebody that is an expert in business and ask, pertinent question on how you can actually build this business of yours. All right, mga kaibigan, again, this is Enrico Pobre, another episode of In My Toolbox. Hanggang sa susunod po. Signing off.